Hi, everybody. Boomer and Booger. NFL Prime Time, week number 15. Hope you're getting your shopping done, cleaning out the chimney. You never know what could happen in a little over a week. And we knew that this was a showdown Sunday with all the buys over, Booger.
No doubt. And the best games were in the late window, Boom. So we have some anticipating things to look forward to.
We do. The early window, it was like, we'll be honest, the early window looked different than the late window in a lot of the games. But that's why we have a window on the world. And we should say that no matter how they look doing it, they don't look, they haven't been, all these one-score games. The Kansas City Chiefs at 12-1 continue. If they can keep winning, they keep on track for the number one seed, although there are other teams that have something to say about it. Today, they're on the scenic shores of Lake Erie. Here we go, Chiefs playing early at the Browns. So Patrick Mahomes and company in Cleveland. Could they have finally an exhale game? Matt Araiza, the punter. James Prochet going to field it for Cleveland, but not very long. Chris Roland Wallace knocks the ball out. Fumble, Cleveland. Story of the day, Chiefs on it.
No doubt about it. This was the story of the day. Turnovers.
And the Chiefs have the ball at the 7-yard line. Mahomes, a little swing to Juju Smith-Schuster. He swings in the end zone. 7-0 Chiefs. Under 5 to go before the half. Again, knocking at the door. Pats the ball. Has time. Where's Travis Kelce? The other tight end, Noah Gray. Touchdown Chiefs. 14-0 for them. That's like 80-0 lead, right? 24 seconds to go. Harrison Butker's back.
Yeah.
Wow. After the IR, a great kicker. He missed the 24-yard field goal. 14-0 at the half. Jameis Winston. Whoa! Look at the play by Nick Bolton, who comes to play every week in the middle for Kansas City.
No doubt about it, Boom. Ball doesn't hit the ground. Great concentration by Bolton getting the ball. Excellent pick.
And grabs it away from Chubb, and then Mahomes off the turnover, the swing to Xavier Worthy. Oh, he stayed in bounds. Yeah!
Using that speed over. How about that?
21-0 Chiefs. They finally have a laugher. However, Ford building cars better than you think. Jerome Ford, handoff. Good. Go all the way. 62 yards, 21-7. Still a 2-score lead for the Chiefs, but Jameis Winston, the amazing skill to keep both teams in the game. Looking deep, throws to the end zone, fires it. That's a really good play by Trent McDuffie, who's the best corner they got.
That's a great play by McDuffie. James, you can't make that throw on 1st and 10.
And then 8 minutes to go. Mahomes hit as he throws. Look, in the second half, he took a lot of wallops from the Browns, who can bring defense.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They were on him, Boom. The pass protection, not so good in the second half.
And Matt Nagy, offensive coordinator, Andy Reid say, you know what, Carson Wentz, last 5 minutes, you go in, please. Mind the store, which he did. So the Chiefs do not win a one-score game. They get 6 turnovers against the Browns. So for the first time all year, I think, unless it's game 1, they go from the minus turnover department, -4, to +2. We're waiting for one of those. All right, now another first-place team, Houston, kind of waiting on them offensively. But Tua said maybe their defense is what worries me more. C.J. Stroud said, you like my defense? Well, I like Nico Collins since he's been back. Whee! 10-3 Houston at home.
And what a welcome addition, Nico. It makes the quarterback feel more comfortable.
Under a minute to go in the half. It's a 10-6 game. Tua, Kalen Bullock makes the play. Look at the long strides. He could, but you know how fast Achane is. Could go just about all of the way down to the 5, sets up a field goal, 13-6, Houston at the half. Third quarter, same score. Use tricky Texans. Ogunbowale, the leading rusher all day for Houston, 32 yards on this play. But the gamble pays off inside the 5. And then now they're at the 6, second down. Stroud, what's the little... I'm going to flick it. Touchdown to Collins again, 20-6.
Really good job by C.J. buying time, allowing Collins to uncover.
So Miami now 4th and 2 for Mike McDaniel. We got to go, and like last week, when it gets late, you can dance if you Jonnu. You could be a good friend of mine. Men without hats. Jonnu Smith with the catch from Tua. but men without extra points, they don't get it. 20-12.
Jonnu, great job uncovering a man-to-man against Stingley. Tua by time, touchdown Dolphins.
Now look, we know Miami dangerous offensively, so can they tie it up? Tua looking for Tyreek Hill. Oh, but that's Derek Stingley. Hey.
Stingley was awesome all day. Boom, 2 interceptions on the day. The Texas defense was dominant all day long.
It's still 20-12 one score. Can Tua under 2 do it? This time he had Hill, but Stingley made a beautiful play for the ball for the pick.
Again, boom, his ball skills are outstanding. You know where he's from. LSU, great ball skills.
Where'd he go?
LSU.
It's a big day for LSU.
Yeah.
Big day for Stingley. Big day for the Texans. So the Houston Texans, actually, we don't want to give it away yet, but they know that if the Colts lose, they would win the division. I mean, first things first, win your division. So Houston beats the Dolphins, who fall to 6-8 by the count of 20-12. All right, let's start with that. We'll get to the Chiefs in a minute. Houston's offense,
Yeah.
but Houston's defense, they forced 4 turnovers. Miami is so fast, Booger. Houston's defense, to me, matched them with speed, and that's hard to do.
No doubt, especially in that dome, on that surface, on that turf. And you think about this defense, Boom. Since week 6, 25 turnovers forced. They've been absolutely dominant. This is the defense we've been waiting to see. The consistency from the Texans defense, the speed. You look at Danielle Hunter. You look at Will Anderson Jr., the ability to come off the corner and create pressure. And Stingley was absolutely outstanding. Man-to-man coverage against Tyreek Hill all day. Offensively, I'm still concerned about the pass protection. C.J. Stroud took too many hits. They couldn't run the football with Joe Mixon-Master, as we call him. But overall, they won the game today because of their defense. And anytime you can get a win and your defense can carry you, that's a good day.
Well, they only had 100.
They couldn't run the football with Joe Mixon-Master, as we call him. But overall, they won the game today because of their defense. And anytime you can get a win and your defense can carry you, that's a good day.
181 yards on offense.
Exactly.
And Miami's, we think, a good team, although against teams with winning records. I didn't know it was this. Since last year, 1-10. Isn't that a little surprising? There's no snow today.
No, it was 72 inside in the dome.
So Houston gets what they need. Look, Kansas City gets what they need. I understand. 6 turnovers. They haven't had a game in which they forced, anything like that. So that would be number one. But also, number one, in the first half, okay. They made some changes.
Yeah.
Tooney was outside tackle. Patrick got hit pretty darn hard when they're up by 2 touchdowns. They couldn't run the ball well enough. I think they averaged 3.5, 3.6 something. Look, they're 13-1.
Yes.
But Patrick got hit hard. They can't live like this. They get 3 games in 10 days.
Boom, they're 13-1, but we continue to see the issues and the cracks in the armor. Patrick is getting hit too much, and the accumulation of hits throughout the season is going to add up. We saw him get both of his ankles taped. They took him out of the game with 5 minutes left, and I think Andy said, no mas. We've had enough. I'm tired of our quarterback getting hit. But this Kansas City Chiefs defense that we saw today, with McDuffie and Jones and those guys, this is the defense that carried them to a Super Bowl last year.
Yes.
And it should have carried them this year. And they're 13-1, but the problem is, Boom, you can see the cracks. And Mahomes can't cover for every crack, especially if he's hurt. And now he's hurt. You just wonder, with that many games coming up in that few days, how is Andy going to handle that? Do you rest your star quarterback? What does he do? How hurt is he? I can't wait to find it out in the next few days.
Well, they play Houston next on a Saturday, and that's going to be a tough assignment against that defense. Then they play, and all 4 teams do this, then they play on Christmas. It's 3 games in 10 days late in the year, which is rough. Congrats to Patrick. Fastest to 300 touchdowns, passing and rushing combined in 128 games. Nobody's done it faster.
That's pretty good, yeah.
At 135.
No question.
So he's hurting, but again, you saw him go on the field, so there we go. Now, Baltimore off a bye. Look, we know what their ceiling is. And unfortunately, it's a little higher than the New York Football Giants.
Yeah, a lot higher.
Yeah, well, the Giants, the only team that haven't won a game at home all year. Lamar Jackson goes, you know what? We had a bye. We're feeling good about it. I've always felt good about Mark Andrews. Touchdown at the Meadowlands, 7-0 Baltimore. Second quarter, 2nd and 11. Lamar rolling. Lamar. Oh, he barely flicked it. You think Rashad Bateman's opened up? What? The Giants trying. He's in 49 yards. Baltimore rolling.
The nearest defender, Boom, was somewhere in Roanoke, Virginia, somewhere.
Yeah, that's about right. 14-0 Baltimore. Now the Giants have scored 14-7 last 2 minutes of the half. Lamar. 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 That's different than one Mississippi, two Mississippi. That's 6 Lamars.
That's a lot of Lamar.
That's 21 yards. So he was a lot today. Jackson Bateman, 20 yards, 21-7 Baltimore at the half.
I thought he threw the ball as good as he's done all year, Boom, that being Lamar.
Yeah, well, under 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Lamar. Devontae Walker. And yeah, he got it in. Look, take a look.
A really good job. Right foot down, drag the left toe, call a little toe drag swag, Boom.
The Baltimore Ravens. Another of these teams, along with Houston, Pittsburgh, Kansas City, they have 3 games in 10 days for John Harbaugh, but they are 9-5. Henry only ran for 67, but Lamar, 5 touchdown passes. You wouldn't think this until you take about 20 seconds and pause. 6 times he's done that in his career.
Wow.
5 touchdown passes.
Wow.
Yeah, we're not. He can do it all, and if they look like that, they can beat anybody on any day. For the Giants, they've lost 9 straight. They're 0-8 at home. They only have 1 home game left. They've only lost every other home game one other time, 1974, when they were at the Yale Bowl. I remember because I saw some of it. Bengals, Titans. Now we have some fun. Zach Taylor, old coordinator, offensively. Brian Callahan, now coaching Tennessee. Tajay Spears. That's not the tush push. That's the Tennessee waltz. I don't know.
And no doubt, Jeffrey Simmons, the defensive tackle, in there leading the way. Touchdown, Titans.
Okay, 14-7 Titans. Joe Burrow, they got the miracle win against Dallas. Harold Landry, it's a fumble. Watch Devontae Sweat. No sweat. Get out of here. And then what? And then watch this. I'm going to be what? Oh, you love when the big guys run it, Booger.
Boom, this is athleticism at its finest, a stiff arm, and then the wiggle at the end.
Oh, 30-yard play. But then, yeah, it was fun. But more, it's Sam Hubbard. He's a defensive end, as you well know, for the Bengals from Joe Burrow. So all the teams trying to top themselves. The problem is Hubbard hurt, did not return. Will Levis. Oh, boy. Will Levis, Cam Taylor-Britt, 28. Oh, man. A lot of Will Levis experience. We got Jameis, we got Will Levis all at 1 o'clock today. Then Burrow to T. Higgins, touchdown. Burrow, 36. That's the Bengals record. You know, he sets it and then he breaks it. 24-14 at the half. Levis, good pocket. Oh, Gino romances the stone. He's around the ball. Romancing the stone with me. I mean, that's, I'm going back a little bit. His 4th pick 6 of the year, Levis. Later in the course, Tony Pollard day. Jordan Battle. He could go all the way. What? He dropped it.
Boom. Not the first time, definitely not the last time. We'll see that today.
No touchdown. Really? Yeah, really. Burrow to Chase Brown, just hold it. Get hidden. Touchdown. He had 2. Bengals lead 16. Win 37-20-7. We told you Burrow. So this, all right, this game, 10 turnovers, 25 penalties. You know the time that happened in the NFL? 1949. Washington against the New York Giants, slinging Sammy Baugh and chucking Charlie Connerly.
Were you at that game?
I thought about it. I couldn't get tickets. Commanders, Saints, and guess who's back in the home state of Louisiana? Jaden Daniels.
Oh, there we go.
Ah, they loved it. And Jake Hayner, Fresno State. Starting for the Saints, Carr hurt, Daniels rolling. Oh, I know this place. Yeah, see, I know every inch of this place. Terry McLaurin, touchdown, Washington.
It's amazing how good McLaurin has been this year with Daniels.
7-0 Washington. Now second quarter, Saints 3rd and 4. Hayner. Rolling right. Yeah, okay, let's make something happen. Mike saying we're still... the Saints coach Darren Rizzi, hey, trying to keep the team up. Come on, that's all right. We need you.
Everybody gets the head rub every now and then.
Yeah, we do. Even if it's in front of 50,000. It's under 7 to go. Daniel, this is nice. Zach Ertz, really? 19 yards, but he gets a concussion ruled out. He's such a good player.
No doubt, he absolutely is.
Daniels in the pocket, McLaurin. That's the combination that was clicking the first 2 months. 14-0. Now Spencer Rattler. The Rattler. Shaking, rattling, rolling for the Saints. to Cedric the Entertainer Wilson, to Alvin Candy Kamara. Saints, who they?
Hey, Boom, really good catch. At first look, we didn't think it was in. One-handed catch, right foot, left foot, touchdown. Tricky Saints.
I mean, who dat, who day? Hey, all day, 17-7. Greg Joseph, 54-yard field goal. Mary on that one. He was right. And a lot of missed field goals.
A lot of
today.
misses today.
Short, long, middle. Saints get the ball back. They're down 7. 17 seconds to go. 4th and 3. Rattler. False derrière. Moreau. Sacre bleu. A first down. 3 seconds to go. Now, Rattler. Can we have a chance to tie it or win it? Yes. Ah, les fleurs de lis. We're going to go aller pour les deux. The 2-point conversion. Rattler to win the game. Oh, excitement. That's what you want when you buy a ticket.
Ton of excitement. Love the play call by interim coach Darren Rizzi. Let's go for 2 and win the game. Just didn't work this time, Boom.
Well, for Washington, look, they're 9-5. They hadn't been 9-5 in 14 games since the year after that last Super Bowl that they won in '91. I mean, that had the Hogs. I mean,
Yeah,
they
of
were
course.
obviously a very good team. Washington. Defensively, I'm not sure, but then again, no one expected them. Maybe Dan Quinn in the locker room did to be 9-5. I
No
know
one.
who they play. Hey, they won the games on the schedule. Good for them.
No doubt about it, Boom. If you think about it, they're 9-5, and there was a period of time where the quarterback kind of hit a rookie wall. But he's back to playing like he's the offensive rookie of the year. He was absolutely outstanding today, Boom. Jaden Daniels made throws. He ran the football. He used his legs. He was absolutely outstanding. He got sacked 8 times.
Yes.
That can't happen.
Right.
So they got to figure out that offensive line and figure out a way to protect him a little bit more. But he was outstanding. And Terry McLaurin is continuing to ascend back to the top 10 as far as receivers in this league.
Yeah, and Daniels, 226. Look, it's been a nice season in Washington. New ownership, new coaching, new general manager. I mean, it's good to see this franchise. They've been, quote, relevant all year. And, they're not in the playoffs yet, but they're looking pretty good.
No doubt about it.
The Saints,
Yeah.
they gave us excitement. Listen,
Hopefully they start Spencer Rattler next week because Hayner.
they will. I don't know that, but they will. Hey, look, if we say it on this show, it's going to be true. Really good game. Bucks, first place. We told you all year, even when they lost 4 in a row at the LA Chargers. We know what the Chargers can do. What would happen? Would the Chargers be able to let them play at their level, meaning 19-17, or would the Bucks say, no, this is the way we do it? Well, starting off, Baker Mayfield to the rookie Jalen McMillan, 7-0 Tampa Bay.
Really good play call, little rub right in man-to-man coverage, easy touchdown Bucks.
And then the next drive, Chargers. Justin Herbert to his rookie, Lad McConkey. He's a fine lad. We're tied at 7. So, we're going to play like this? Really?
a little shootout.
Okay, this is
Let's
going to be
do it.
fun. 10-10, second quarter. Baker, play action, fires. Picked off by, he's a Tar Heel born, he's a Tar Heel dead. He's Tar Heel still. He had a pick 6 a week or 2 ago. Chargers take over. Herbert. Quentin Johnson, and then that's a really good play. 13. Chargers lead 17-13 at the half.
Really good season so far, Johnston. A bounce back year for him.
2nd and 13, early third. Bucks own territory. Baker. Have we enjoyed watching Mike Evans play his entire career, Booger? How about today? Mike Evans, he makes the catch, tiptoe, throw the tulips. 57 yards. 20-17 Bucks.
That connection is back. Future Hall of Famer Mike Evans, Boom.
And then we love Tampa Bay Bucky Irving. I mean, if you're going to play a running back, you got to play for Tampa Bay. Look at him, 54 yards. They don't quite get it in here in the red zone. Field goal, 23-17. Irving had 117 today. Herbert, Bucks defense. Todd Bowles bringing it. Jamel Dean, the sausages, the leeks, all looks good.
Yeah, nothing like some old Jimmy Dean sauce.
Yeah, Jimmy Dean, first pick at 357 attempts by Herbert, so that's what that one was for Dean. Baker, Evans, my goodness, the throw in the catch.
The route, Boom. He stemmed the cornerback to the outside, came back inside. Perfect throw by Baker.
35-yard, 30-17 Tampa Bay, early fourth quarter. Baker, Evans, didn't this thing tear off before? Oh my goodness, 23 yards, 9 for 159 for Mike Evans. And then the little swing to Rashad White. Boy, the Tampa Bay Bucks just played downhill the whole game in the second half. Very few teams have made the Chargers look like this on defense. Tampa Bay, they rolled in L.A. 40-17. Baker, 22 of 28 for 288, 4 touchdown passes. Our Lindsay theory after the game, Pythagoras' theory with Baker Mayfield.
How do you put into words the importance of this win with where you guys are in the division race?
It's huge. I mean, it's the most important one because it was the next one. But yeah, on the road against a team that's really physical, that doesn't turn the ball over. And so for us to get this one and score this many points, and the defense to hold them like that, it was a big one.
Thanks for the time.
Appreciate it.
Baker Mayfield, the Bucks, well, we'll talk about them in a moment. Now, we have the Colts at the Broncos, a game dripping with playoff implications. And early on, Anthony Richardson in the sun, in the altitude, he runs faster, I think.
Yeah, no doubt. Really good play call to get him on the edge and use his legs.
7-0, the Colts early. Then Bo Nix, picked up by Zaire Franklin. The Colts came to play early in this one. They would get a field goal, 10-0 Indianapolis, the Peyton Manning Bowl. Colts at Broncos. Then Bo Nix, Marvin Mims the word. Through the defense, 11 yards. Can the Broncos go back? The crowd roaring. Later in the drive, Nix, Adam Troutman, trout fishing. Hey.
I like Trout.
10-7. Hey, we all do. 10-7. The Colts lead now by 3. First drive, third quarter. Bo Nix, play action. Looking for Cortland Sutton, but nowhere near him. Samuel Womack makes the play. Another pick, so the Colts defense doing the job.
Yeah, 2 picks in the day. Knicks got greedy.
Now, Jonathan Taylor. I mean, he's as good as it gets. He's going to go all the way into the end zone, except he could go all the way. What? What?
Boom, I just don't understand it. Second time today, before you cross the line with the ball, you drop it. Just hand the ball to the ref like a great running back Barry Sanders used to.
And this would turn the game on its ear, Booger. 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Nix. Not quite yet. Nick Cross said, way to save that ear. 3 picks against Bo Nix now. Fourth quarter. Could Denver get going? Well, the punt is to Mims. Look low. Starts running. Here he comes. He's got a couple of blockers. I don't think the punter's going to get him. Inside the 15. Big return by Mims, which ignited the Broncos and the home crowd. Nix. That's Nate Atkins. Nice spin. 15 yards, 17-13, Denver. You talk about a guy whose name we're getting to know. Watch this. Nick Bonito. Forget the trickery. I'm gone. What a second half of the year he's had, Booger. 24-13 Broncos.
2 pick sixes in as many weeks, Boom.
And then Nix. Cortland Sutton. He's wide open. He's a really good player. Sean Payton. He's come into Denver, and then this year with this rookie quarterback, the Broncos are now 9-5, and so the Colts, with their loss, gets Houston the division. They're mathematically alive, but I mean, with the Broncos' way, I mean, it's just going to be hard to climb in the AFC. So where do we start? We start with Denver, whose defense the Colts punctured for a little bit, and Nix was off some.
He was.
The biggest game he's played as a pro thus far, other than maybe the very first one.
Correct.
But the Broncos have something going here. I mean, defensively, you said that Benito, and and we know what Surtain does back there. And if Bo Nix, they don't have the turnovers, this is all them today.
Well, but when you think about what Vance Joseph has done, let's go back a year ago. They gave up 70 points to the Dolphins. And Vance Joseph has rebuilt this defense with some young talent, some young players like Nick Bonito ever since then. And Bonito has been outstanding. 2 pick sixes in as many weeks. And anytime you can make sure that your defense plays up to par and give your team an opportunity to win with a rookie quarterback. He wasn't good today. 3 touchdowns, 3 picks. That's a rookie quarterback game. He was up and down. Special teams, the big punt return. Defense, how you play the game that way. This was a total team win. And probably, some say, the biggest game at that stadium since the playoff game when Peyton Manning was there.
Well, and here's Anthony Richardson Colts. It's not on him, but they got it going some. Yeah. I mean, the miscue with They get the touchdown from Taylor. We'll never really know what would happen. You know, college and pro, he started only 27 games. It's not an excuse, I'm just saying. Bo Nix, also rookie, college and pro, 75 starts. He hung in. Colts, they're living on the edge there, and if they make those type of miscues, they're not good enough to overcome.
No doubt about it. They have to play almost a perfect game as they continue to develop this young quarterback, Boom.
Oh, well, here we go. Here's the play again.
To me, this is the play of the game. If you score this, you go up 2 scores. Once that missed, it seems like things it's like snow down a mountain, Boom. It just started to roll downhill, and the ball got bigger and bigger. And the momentum in that stadium came alive, Boom. And oftentimes, pro football, you don't get the feed off the crowd. They got the feet off the crowd today. Once that play came, you get the punt return, you get the touchdown, and it was over at that point, bro.
Right, and I wonder if Seattle's going to have a similar game tonight, but we won't know by the time you see this. Who knows what's going to happen. But so the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they won going away.
Yeah.
Let me remind you something about the Bucs, who, remember, got swept by Atlanta, so therefore they're behind the 8 ball. And Atlanta plays on Monday night against Vegas, and so they only would have a 1-game lead, Tampa Bay, unless Atlanta stumbles. They beat the Lions. They beat the Eagles. They took the Chiefs to overtime, lost the toss, and never had a chance to have the ball. This team is much better than you would think of the team that lost 4 in a row. They've now won 4 in a row. They played with gusto all year long.
To make a 5-hour trip from Tampa, Florida to Los Angeles, California to go against a team who'd been known as a bully on the block and play the way they did. They stopped the Chargers' run game. They ran the football with Rashad White, Bucky Irvin. Mike Evans, the future Hall of Famer, was almost uncoverable. And Baker was pretty good. He only had 1 turnover throwing the interception. When their offensive line can control the game, Boom, and they can run the football, defensively, Todd Bowles feels like he can create enough havoc for the opposing offense. They can get stops. They can get turnovers. They've done it. That's their formula. Mike Evans being healthy, he's the straw that stirs the drink for this team.
You know, they had all injuries early. You didn't hear them complain. They played at Dallas, home Carolina, home New Orleans. Assume nothing, but those teams are under 500. I'm just reading you their schedule. This was the game they had to have.
No doubt about it.
And they got it. Now, 2 first-place teams, both in Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh at Philadelphia. Russell, 5-0 lifetime against Philly. You didn't play him that much in Seattle. Last time Pittsburgh has won in Philly was Franklin Field in 1965. I was not at that game, but I was 10 years old. All right. Cooper DeJean. Punt. Mocked out by Mark Robinson. Pittsburgh, they came into the game, tied with Buffalo leading with the most of the turnovers, and so the Steelers take over at the 11. Russell Wilson with a short pass to Najee Harris with a gain of 7 flags. What's going on? Darnell Washington continues. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, Boom. They called 2 personal fouls on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Usually this is offsetting. They called both on the Steelers. Mike Tomlin was not happy, Boom. And Mike Tomlin told the ref he can go somewhere.
Well, they said you can go somewhere, but if we're tied at 3, you only got a field goal. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown. What problem? It's a city of brotherly love. Wait, you know, they don't run the ball enough, Philly. They throw it too much. I'm kidding. Saquon. Yeah, well, they run it fine. Saquon could have a 2,000-yard season. You're running for over 1,700 now. That's a 22-yard gain. Hurts to Brown. Oh, they love the city of brotherly love.
Yeah, we're dancing together now. What happened last week is a thing. It's in the past.
Yeah, cheesesteaks for everybody. 10-3 Philly. Second quarter, Hurts, slant, Brown, look at him break tackles, 17 yards. And then, 3rd and goal from the 2. He's so slim you can't see him. It's a slim Reaper. Devontae Smith, 17-3, fly, Eagles, fly.
The Reaper with a big day.
And Russell said, wait a minute. Move. Pat Fryer moves, tosses it up. Big tight end gets it. 17-13 Philly at the half. We have a ball game. Midway 3rd, Wilson, pitch, Jalen Warren. Oh, tricky Steelers. Oh, Calvin Austin makes the play coming back.
Really good job on the underthrown ball, coming back, helping your quarterback out, Calvin.
And then Wilson, oh, no, Najee, fumble. Oh, they were rolling, and the Eagles have the ball at their own 26. Early 4th, guess what they're going to do? The tush push. Jalen Hurts, 27-13, and then under 5 to go. Hurts, the ball was swatted, but J.J. Watt, T.J. Watt, I should say, I know who it is, slow to get up. And then X-rays negative at least.
Yeah,
But-
you just hate to see him go down, Boom. He was having an impact on the game. Pressures, sacks, forced fumble. But clearly something didn't feel right in that ankle-foot area.
So in the end, the Philadelphia Eagles win it by 2 scores. Again, these showdown games end up late. Not that much of a showdown. Our Courtney Cronin was at the game with the Slim Reaper, Devontae Smith.
Devontae, there was a lot of noise around this team in the passing game all week long. You guys come out in the first half and you looked like you were on a mission. Walk me through that execution.
We all know we just got to come out here and everybody do their part. And, today we happen to, put it together. That's all it is. It just comes down to everybody doing their part. And when you do that, you get the results you want.
The results that you want, right? I mean, Pittsburgh, they were in it.
Yeah.
But Philly, they're clicking on just about all cylinders, especially now that the passing game seems to be like what problem here? They really have a lot of answers.
They do.
Both sides of the ball, don't they?
Squeaky wheel always gets the oil, doesn't it?
Right.
It's amazing how there was some issues between Hurts and Brown, and all of a sudden now Brown comes out over 100 yards this week. Oh, you're going to throw it to Brown. What about Devontae Smith? He's got over 100. So this passing game that we had issues with, both receivers over 100 yards, but it was made to happen, Boom, by the ability or the threat to run the football. When you can run the ball with Gainwell and Barkley, now you have to play one-on-one on the outside. And it's slim pickings because you can't cover Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown in one-on-one coverage. So I hear all the noise in Philly. This is a very good football team. They can run the football. They still have to start with the run, whether that's Barkley, Gainwell, or Hurts running the football. But don't forget, they are a complete offense. They can beat you any way they want to. They just need to understand that they can be multifaceted.
They've won 10 in a row. That's the longest winning streak in team history. They are 12-2. Pittsburgh falls to 10-4, and they play the Baltimore Ravens coming up in Baltimore on Saturday. And what that means is they're 1 up. Beat them earlier, but again, now all of a sudden that division in play again.
It is in play, and if you're Pittsburgh, you have to be a little concerned, Boom, because they got beat up front. They got manhandled up front, and they couldn't cover the receivers on the back end. If you're Baltimore, you got to say, can we duplicate the same game plan as the Eagles? Can we run the football with Derrick Henry? Can we get Zay Flowers and Bateman one-on-one on the outside? If I'm Baltimore, I'm coming with the same game plan to see if we can do the same thing the Eagles did to the Steelers.
401 yards, Philly, 163, Pittsburgh.
It's not enough.
No.
It's not enough.
That's not enough. And now we go to the coup de grace, as was once said. The Buffalo Bills, who score with I know they lost last week, but they got 42 points. They are scoring at will over 30. The Detroit Lions, the best record in the NFC. They haven't lost since week number 2. Could this be a Super Bowl preview? 2 fan bases that deserve that. Well, they maybe got a taste in December of what it might be like. Although Detroit hurting on defense, Josh Allen said, I can't help you there. Jared Goff, what did he have? Well, right away, Bills with a hurry-up offense out of the gates, Booger. Josh sneaks for a touchdown. That's his 7th touchdown in a quarter and in like 5 minutes. Now, late first quarter, Josh in again. 64 rushing touchdowns, second most in Bills franchise history. 14-0. Josh seems to just stand flat-footed. Every week, Joe Brady brings out something else in the offense. Today it was Ty Johnson who caught that. Allen, James Cook, very quickly in the end zone, 21-7 Buffalo.
And the offense was unstoppable early on, Boom.
And then Dan Campbell, 4th and 4, we're going to go for it. Well, your offense ain't the problem. That's for sure. Goff to Amon-Ra St. Brown, 21 yards. First down, 4th down gamble. That's in the DNA. Play action. Goff, left. Oh, we're going to throw it to Dan Skipper. Oh, Gilligan and the Skipper into the end zone, 21-14.
And word is, Boom, he did report touchdown, Skipper.
Very, very good. Oh, the Skipper sets sail out of the end zone. Third quarter opening drive, Bills. Cook. Oh, the quick jump back to the middle. They grabbed his hair twice. It ain't going to work. 3 rushing touchdowns of 40-plus this year, 28-14. They kept unleashing more and more weapons. Goff, St. Brown, he's got it. They call incomplete. Knocked out by Christian Benford. Matt Milano recovers. They reverse it. Say fumble.
Really good job. Glad to have Milano back making plays for those Bills.
Yeah, he's around the ball.
Yeah, always.
He's just around the ball. Now, Allen, little shovel pass to Khalil Shakir. Normally in the slot, this time in the slot behind the center. 35-14. Drop back Detroit. I mean, they're really good, but drop back, not what they want to do. But St. Brown says, if we got to do it, we will. Goff to St. Brown, 66 yards, 35-21. Now fourth quarter, 38-21. Bass missed a short field goal, but he made one later. Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, in the end zone, 38-28. Maybe we got a game. Onside kick, Lions. Doink. Mac Hollins down the sideline. Oh, he goes 38 yards down to the 5.
Yeah, and that's when you know it's going bad, when the onside doesn't work.
Yep, and then Allen to Ray Davis. See, this is everybody played. 45-28. Jahmyr Gibbs at Lions not giving up. 45-35. They kick off. They don't. I mean, regular kick, not onside kick, and then Allen. Oh, it floats it to Dawson Knox. They had Kincaid back. They had both tight ends. And then Josh. I will take it myself for a first down, kick a field goal. I mean, in 48, and Detroit scores again. So if you had the 90 point on your bingo card, you were correct, sir and ma'am. Bills, 48. Lions, 42. Lions winning streak. Snap. After all these wins at 11, the Buffalo Bills over 30 and then some for the 8th straight week. Jeff Tarlington after the game with Khalil Shakir and the victorious Bills.
I feel like I'm watching some sort of legendary things happening.
Yeah.
Do you feel that in the huddle and on the field?
Yeah, definitely. I've done it a few times. Like I said, sometimes he'll take off and I'm like, wow, man, look at him go, man. Like I said, it's just the what he's able to do, as our quarterback, we know that anything's possible when you got 17 on your team. Just what he's able to do in the run game and using his legs and, make any kind of throw. It's amazing, man. Guy's a freak of nature.
I mean, the numbers are off the charts. Both teams over 500 yards.
Yeah.
The Bills had 559 yards. They scored 42 points in a loss to the Rams with the ball for 21 minutes last week, okay? So this week they put the pedal to the metal. Detroit could hardly stop them. Josh Allen and the Bills, they used different people. And next week it might be somebody else. They're clearly on an offensive roll. And Josh Allen is as good as he's ever been. They more than circled the wagons. Those wheels, I think the rubber burned off circling the wagons.
Don't let the score fool you. This game really was never close.
Mm-hmm.
If Buffalo's the best team in football, boom, to go into that building against that team, the way that team plays, how much pride that the Detroit Lions have and beat them the way they did, best team in football. Josh Allen, MVP. To me, the difference in the game, Joe Brady out-coaching Aaron Glenn. The mismatch of the game was the Buffalo Bills running the backs, whether it was Cook, Ray Davis, against the Detroit Lions linebackers. That's the weakest part of their defense. And the Lions defense is nothing to write home about, but they schematically outman and outcoach the Detroit Lions today. You got to give a shout out to Joe Brady. It was a masterclass. Time and time again, they had the Lions linebackers in man coverage and a step behind. Buffalo, Josh Allen, how they're playing, boom, they get Milano back. Things seem to be going their way at the right time.
Look, the Lions have only lost for the second time, and they had a loss in September. So let's just hold on. Now, of course, they've opened the door for Minnesota, maybe to tie them. They've opened the door, for Philly. But look, they have only 2 losses.
Yeah.
Not everyone's going to be coming back on defense. Can they roll and get a number 1 seed with what we saw today? They're not going to play the Bills every week.
I don't know if they can get the number 1 seed the way that Philly's playing. You still got Minnesota. They have to hope that their offense can continue to outscore people and get the opportunistic breaks on defense. They got exposed on defense today. And if you're Aaron Glenn and you're Dan Campbell, the head coach, you have to go back and be honest with yourself and figure out a way. Can we play less man coverage and keep the ball in front of us to help this team out? Because this defense, the way they play today, it can't win, Boom.
Well, real quick on Buffalo, look, they're 2 back at Kansas City, but they beat them. They play, New England twice and the Jets once. They're not losing again.
Correct.
So the Chiefs have to
Mahomes ankle,
keep on winning games. Buffalo's not losing again. I know it's pro football, but at any rate, the Cowboys and the Panthers. Panthers favored for the first time in 34 games. Bryce Young says, well, let's see if we can live up to it. But Cooper Rush was the man living up to it. Dallas could have had that game against Cincinnati, but that's ABCDEFG Lamb, 7-0. Then Bryce playing better. Oh, Jalen Diet Coker hits a touchdown, 83 yards. Panthers? Oh, we're playing America's team. We're favored. 10-7 Dallas at the half. Bryce has hit Osa, knocks it loose. Chauncey Gardner-Golston comes up with it. 4 turnovers, Young. A little backstep on this day against the Dallas defense. Rush has time. Jalen Tolbert, that's a nice play, 17-7.
Outstanding placement on the pass. Good catch by Tolbert.
Then Rush out of the pocket. Oh, Jalen Brooks. How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, how about them? Underdog Cowboys.
Hey, they like that. Come into Carolina, have some grits, and they win 30-14. So the Cowboys feeling a little bit better about themselves. 3 touchdown passes. Cooper Rush. Now, the Jets, who are 1-9 in their last 10 games, but they're favored for the 7th time in 8 weeks. They're at Jacksonville. Aaron Rodgers down 13-7 at the half. Look out, Jeremiah Ledbetter. Whee! I got him. I
had done one of those since high school, Boom.
There's a good reason. And Rodgers to Devontae Adams. I want Devontae because we really hook up well. 100 career touchdown. Congratulations to him. A marvelous career. 17-16 Jets going in the 4th quarter. Mac Jones, amazingly 5-0 lifetime against the Jets to Brian Thomas. Oh, Thomas a touchdown. They don't get the 2. Jacksonville up 22-17. Mac the knife win. At any rate, it's a Bobby Darin classic. Rodgers said, nice song. I got my song right here to Adams. 71 yards, longest Jets play of the year. Jets up 3. They make a 2-point conversion.
Devontae Adams almost 200 yards in the second half alone.
Right. At 198 to be on a tied at 25. Rodgers. Adams. We've seen that his whole career.
Nothing but a timing play.
23-yard pickup. Rodgers, 1:20 to go. Looking for, of course I'm looking for, even I could find him on that play. But he's going to get, look at this. I want to get it. He gives it a chance. 41-yard gain, over a minute to go. Yeah, well, we couldn't, we're the Jets, I guess.
I don't understand why the Jets didn't take a knee, bleed the clock, kick the field goal to win the game. They scored a touchdown. Either way, it allowed the Jags to have the ball again. Nevertheless, they win. So I guess no harm, no foul.
They win. Breece Hall with the touchdown. They win at 32-25. And now, the Patriots are at the Cardinals. Cardinals, all of a sudden a losing streak, hoping to feed on Drake May, the Kyler Murray, and the Cards. Lost a couple times to Seattle in the last 3 weeks. Well, this is what they did. James Conner. They didn't do this against the Seahawks. It didn't work. They were ready. But against the Patriots, they feasted on it.
And he continues to have an outstanding season, James Conner.
Greg Dortch with the carry. Anthony Jennings forces the fumble at the 2. It rolls into the end zone, staying in bounds. Just like they diagrammed it, an Arizona touchdown. How about that, Jonah Williams?
A lot of big guys scoring TDs today, Boom.
A lot of interesting stuff. Third quarter, late third quarter, 16-3 Arizona. Drake May. Shake your booty. Unfortunately, forgot the ball. Kayshon Boutte fumbles it. Sean Murphy Bunting has it. Patriots turn it over. Next Cardinal drive, now 4th quarter. Kyler Murray. Patriots send an extra. That's just nice. Trey McBride's had a great year at tight end for Arizona.
He's had an outstanding season, Boom. Good to see him healthy and playing well.
And later in the drive, Connor, didn't even. He's in the end zone. Sound effects free on the show. And the Cardinals, yeah, you never know. And they're looking up at Rams and, of course, the Seahawks. But 7-7, you never know. Cardinals win 30-17. Well, so much to talk about with all the first-place teams. We get a little more here on Buffalo and Detroit. This little note, Darren, all over it. The Bills, the first team in NFL history to snap multiple 9-game or more winning streaks in the same year. The Chiefs had won 9 in a row when they beat them in Buffalo, and the Lions had won 11 in a row when they beat them on this day in Detroit. So they got that going for them. If you look at the game film, the couple of games the Bills lost, especially Baltimore, it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
They were bullied in that game.
No question,
I mean, every team is going to be a couple like that. They were determined not to let Detroit try to do that because we know their offensive line is capable. They're as good as anybody in football, and et cetera. And they were determined not to let that happen. By the way, it did not. The Bills were more powerful both sides of the ball and fast.
Yeah, and Boom, sometimes when you try to bully people, you don't always have to do it with brute force. Mm-hmm. You can do it with speed. They got Cook in space. Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator, was able to run the football without necessarily trying to be the bully on the block. They didn't have to come downhill with the Lions. They made the Lions linebackers run Campbell, who's not that fleet of foot. They made those guys. They had Jamal Adams, and he was totally lost out there. He's essentially playing linebacker for the Lions because they're so depleted. And so it was a great job of how do we take our team, which is built outside for Orchard Park. They brought us in a dome. They were better inside in the dome today than the Lions were because they're faster. And so it was just a master class of let's use what we have, which is our speed, our backs, Davis, Cook, against what their weakness is, which is their linebacker.
Well, and again, we talked about the home. It's still a little out. The Chiefs could lose one game, but not two. Buffalo's not losing again.
Right.
And now the Bills have the inside track on the 2 if they win out, which they're going to, over Pittsburgh or Baltimore or whoever that is. Detroit. Darren Campbell said after the game that Aleem McNeil and Carlton Davis, 2 of their defensive players that they've been counting on, could have, we don't know this yet, could have season-ending injuries. The list is getting real long, Booger.
If that is the case, and I do mean if, that would mean Hutchinson, McNeil, Davis. Not just 3 starters, 3 of their top players at each position. At some point, Boom, the game becomes a war of attrition. And right now the Lions are losing that war. And it's going to put a lot of pressure on Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator, Jared Goff, and that offense. Because the offense has been relatively healthy. So you ask the question, can their offense score 40 or 50 a week? They might have to.
Right.
Because at some point, Boom, when you're getting Jamal Adams 6 weeks ago, Boom, was on the beach somewhere.
Yes.
Now he's starting to line like that. It just doesn't add up. So I hope those injuries aren't season ending. They've had a really good season. They've played really good football. At one point, we thought they were the best team in football. But that defense can't play if you don't have the requisite players to play.
They might get Anzalone back, but that's not going to solve everything.
Correct.
Right? They're hoping so at the end of the year.
Yeah.
At Chicago, at San Francisco, home to Minnesota. So we're all not lost at all with Detroit on still being number 1 seed. We'll see. Philly, Minnesota, they all play in. Back to Philly and Pittsburgh. Again, we've talked about it on the show. Philly has 1 train ride left. I mean, this is the last 6 weeks. They had a bus ride, and now they got a train ride to Washington.
Yeah.
It's nice taking the train. But that's at Washington, home Dallas, home Giants. They could lose at Washington, but they're looking at a complete roll, aren't they?
Boom, it's going to be hard to beat this team because what they have is kind of dummy-proof. One of the top 3 offensive lines in football. Saquon Barkley on pace for close to 2,000 yards. They got a quarterback that can run the football. And, if you take that away, how are you going to cover our receivers on the outside? Now, let's flip to the other side of the football. Jalen Carter, the defensive tackle, is playing some of the best football of his career. Nolan Smith, the end from Georgia. Jordan Davis, Bond, the defense is playing better. Boom. They are playing their best football right now, even amidst all the noise in Philadelphia throughout the season. The coach dealing with the crowd, the quarterback, the passing game. They're starting to come together, and they're relatively healthy, Boom. They are going to be a tough matchup because weather doesn't affect them. Conditions don't affect them. Cold weather won't affect them. They can play and beat you any way you want them to.
It's Philly. A little turbulence never hurt anybody. They cheesesteak and turbulence, they're fine. And A lot of these guys, of course, were at the Super Bowl not very long ago,
Yeah,
and they
of
know
course.
it. Pittsburgh, we don't know at the moment Pickens' injury. That's not going to solve everything, but it really will help. But he may be another week or two.
No doubt. But if you equate it to Mike, think about what the Bucs offense looked like without Mike Evans. Now Mike Evans is back. The straw that stirs the
Good
drink
point.
is there.
Very good point.
What if Pickens was in the Steeler offense? Now when you run the football and they come stop the run, who's going to win one-on-one on the outside? George Pickens can do that. So they missed that today against the Philadelphia Eagles. When he comes back, if he does come back, I think it'll allow the offense to be more explosive because the Eagles just kind of swarmed that offense today. They took away the running game.
Yep.
Russell couldn't hit anything down the field, so they really did miss George Pickens today.
Well, all right, I was going to add this up. Let's see. Just back to Buffalo and Detroit. The Bills have now scored, what, 445? Detroit has now scored 450. Whatever. It was a pinball wizard game. We know what that was. All right. We got game balls to give out, and there are a lot of candidates on the stage.
No doubt, Boom. But I'm going to, as Sam Cooke once said, I'm going to turn back the hands of time to a
Sam
guy.
Cooke.
No question.
We love Sam Cooke.
Future Hall of Famer Mike Evans, Boom, for the Buccaneers. He was absolutely outstanding on the day. 9 receptions, 159 yards, 2 touchdowns. They targeted him 11 times, Boom. And for a team in Tampa that made a 5.5-hour trip to Los Angeles to put on the performance the way they did against this Charger team, we knew the Chargers couldn't get to 20. Turns out the Bucs almost got to 50, Boom. Great performance by the Buccaneers today.
You mentioned Sam Cooke. Well, I don't know much about history. I don't much biology. Don't know much about a science book. But I do know that Josh Allen is all I need to cook. 4 more touchdowns for him. 10 in the last 2 weeks running. 430 yards. He has 36 total touchdowns this season. The Bills hung almost 560 yards in Detroit to a team that was 12-1. And so Josh Allen continuing to top himself. And the Bills, we'll see. We've seen this, but we've not seen. So Josh Allen continuing to top himself. And the Bills, we'll see. We've seen this, but we've not seen. It's something different every week offensively. It's always Josh, but Amari Cooper. But there will be a game. They get Kincaid back.
Yeah.
It's just lots of choices. It's like going to the groceries. It's like having a buffet to eat, and they're eating all of it, not all at the same time.
And you almost get the feeling, Boom, I know you're like this. When you got a 3-shot lead and you're coming down 18 at the Open
I wouldn't know
Championship,
that feeling.
at the British Open,
Yeah.
the engraver starts engraving when you got the 3-shot lead. I think the MVP trophy, they're putting Josh Allen's, they just put the J on it. And the O and the S and the H are coming. He's playing that type of football, Boom. And who would have thought you trade away Stephon Diggs, who's he going to throw the football to? Amari Cooper's been a welcome addition. Kincaid, Knox, Cook. But the straw that stirs the drink is Josh Allen. And he's given an entire city confidence that they just may be able to circle the wagons this season.
You know what? And look, the MVP would be nice. He's not thinking about it.
No doubt.
You know that.
Yeah, of course.
And look at what we started out with. 2 guys. I mean, Saquon may get 2,000 yards.
Yes.
Lamar Jackson was off the charts for
Yes.
2 months, right? And there are others. But we got a few weeks to go.
Yeah.
The Bills have circled them. And they've circled, well, never mind. They've circled a couple of dates moving forward. At any rate, thanks. We got Sunday Night Football. And actually, another first-place team.
Yeah.
The moving Seahawks have won all of a sudden 4 in a row after their bye. But into town comes dangerous and savvy Green Bay. You'll like the uniforms the Seahawks are wearing. Scott Van Pelt with the highlights. Scotty?
Boomer, thank you very much. Seattle in first place. They have struggled at home this year. Green Bay coming in wearing those icy whites. I'm saying if you got a Green Bay helmet, you could just leave it alone. You don't need to mess with it. That's just my opinion. Nobody asked. Right down the field goes Josh Jacobs. He was involved in the passing game, the run game, 9 touches on the opening drive. Green Bay scores 7-0. Throw it to him again. Why wouldn't you? Josh Jacobs from Jordan Love and the Pack on the move later in the drive. Love to Romeo Doubs. Hit it about the 5, and he blasts his way into the end zone. 14-0, all Pack. 14-3. Love finds Christian Watson, who makes a beautiful spinning catch on the sidelines. Tremendous job to get the left and the right in. Pack kicks a field goal 17-3. This has been the big bugaboo for Seattle throughout the year. Geno's under pressure all game long, and it's another turnover in the red zone. It's his 4th pick for Geno Smith in the end zone this season. That's tied for the most in the NFL, along with Jameis Winston. Carrington Valentine, a nice pick there. 20-3, Green Bay leads at the half. Same score into the third quarter, and this play hurts not just tonight, but potentially down the road. Geno Smith under pressure. Edgerrin Cooper hits him, and Smith limps off the field to knee injury. And they always say a player knows if it's an injury that's severe or not, and that reaction with the helmet slam and then an immediate walk to the locker room tells you all you need to know. Smith would come back to the sideline, but there's a big wrap on his knee, and you could see if he was asked, can you make it back out there? No was the answer. 23-6, Green Bay trying to salt this thing away, but Jacobs fumbles it. Ernest Jones creates the turnover. That punch technique, we see it every week in the NFL. Julian Love there to recover. And then Zach Charbonnet with Sam Howell in relief of Geno. Charbonnet in relief of Kenneth Walker out another game with a calf injury. And Charbonnet's been excellent this year when his number's been called to the end zone, and it's a 10-point game. Seattle gets the ball back down 10, and Howell is picked by Cooper. And the Packers have a chance to put this thing on ice. A field goal would mean it's still a 2-touchdown game. But a touchdown essentially puts this thing to bed. Love has time, and this is a tremendous grab from Dobbs. Wondered, did it hit the ground? You see it does not. That elbow is in control. Dobbs, his 2nd touchdown of the game, and Green Bay goes into Seattle in hands. The Seahawks yet another home loss. They will welcome Minnesota to town next week. Head coach Mike Macdonald said they're going to find out more on Geno's knee on Monday. Speaking of Monday, next Monday, Christmas week, we'll be in Lambeau, bundled up, as the Saints come calling on the 10-4 Green Bay Packers. Boom.
All right, Scott, thank you very much. Doubleheader, Monday Night Football. More everybody playing. You could see the way this whole week went with no buys. Look at this desk. My mom would be very upset with me if she was around to this day. So, Joe Buck, Troy Aikman. All right, thanks to everybody. Listen, get out there. The shopping days are dwindling, right?
It's almost time.
Are you done?
I'm close.
Yeah, I got a little work to do. I'm sure I speak for everybody out there, so that was fun, my man.
No doubt, always.
Booger, Boomer, I'm getting the names right as the season goes on. Thanks for watching NFL Prime Time. See you next Sunday.